watching Capitol Connection from the Illinois State Capitol.
He's the longest tenured Republican in Congress from Illinois, but next November you will not see Congressman John Shimkus' name on a ballot. He's stepping away from Congress, opening up a void in his place. That's invited a number of Republicans and a few Democrats to try and jump in this race in 2020 to go to Congress for this next term. One of those candidates joins me now. That's Darren Duncan, the treasurer at Vermilion County. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
So a lot of voters are wanting to get to know who the candidates are in this race. You've introduced yourself with sort of a campaign ad so far that talks about who you are. Give us, I guess, a little bit of that. Why did you decide to get into this race? And I guess I'll add a little bit of context. A lot of people took a look at it and thought, I just don't know. There was a lot of people saying we might jump in. They didn't. Why did you?
Well, I think there's probably the fog of what's going on within the redistricting that may most likely occur after the 2020 census, so 2020 to 2022 would be one reason why a lot of people were stepping back.
And it scared people off?
Yeah, I think it could. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's some people that are in positions now where they're doing things and they want to be able to continue that work if they had run for this seat, and who knows what redistricting is going to do. They potentially would not be able to continue to serve, and they wanted to maintain their service where they're at least.
In your launch video, you did mention, you said here on the program today that you had an illness. You said it was colon cancer.
Sure.
Cancer survivor now. Mm-hmm. How does that inform your view of the American healthcare debate? And would you ever support any measure that might weaken protections for people who are insured to protect pre-existing conditions?
Pre-existing conditions I would not want to take away. I mean, I would want people with pre-existing conditions to be taken care of. My general thought on healthcare is that we live in the greatest country in the world. We have a lot of resources in this country, and that no one, for lack of money, should be denied good, adequate healthcare.
Bernie Sanders has said all those same things.
Yeah. Well, how to pay for it, and I won't.
Is that where you disagree with Senator Sanders?
Yes. He wants the government to control everything.
He wants universal health care, or Medicare for all, as it's called. What's your vision of
I believe Richard Nixon was actually the first president to ever suggest along these lines that people should get good health care, and so a Republican president from a long time ago, initiated that idea. So I don't think it belongs to any one party. I think all Americans can agree that we don't want our neighbor to not get adequate health care. I'm not sure how we got to this point where it's businesses, that are responsible for paying for it.
Are you comfortable with that?
The businesses
the current structure?
No. In my own case, so I was a farmer before I was county treasurer. We had to have our own private health insurance, mm-hmm. and it was, I think, reasonable back in the day, but after the Affordable Health Care Act was initiated, those premiums doubled, tripled, quadrupled. I mean, it became quite a burden on our family.
Is that the part that makes you uncomfortable with the structure? Is the profit that insurance companies can make on a person's plight?
Yeah, not necessarily on that. I think, I'm not against anybody making money in what they're doing, and I believe very much in private enterprise.
So how would you change this?
We haven't got into those details yet. I've been focused on being a farmer and county treasurer, so I would want to reach out and to get some leaders in all aspects of healthcare and talk to them about what their ideas are. I think that's how we start this conversation, for me is, and I know they've been having it for a while, I don't think it's working for most Americans. So I think we need to continue talking about it.
Interesting. In your video, you also said that a conservative agenda like the one President Trump has been advancing is one I would fully support. Fully? And does that apply to foreign and domestic policy?
Well, I am far from an expert on foreign policy. Again, an American Illinois farmer is not a foreign policy expert, so I'm not even going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. But on issues that I think most of us Americans or Illinoisans can have some strong opinions and thoughts on. Immigration would be one of them. That's a big topic that's been discussed. I would say legal immigration. I'm all for it. all of us, for the most part, have come from somewhere else, whether it's first generation or many generations ago. My ancestors came a couple centuries ago. So we've all immigrated. We want to, and we welcome that. I, as a Republican, would tell you that I am 100% in favor of people from other lands coming here. We just need a safe and secure process for that to happen.
So that there is a bit of a conflict there then between your view and the Trump administration in reality, because under the Trump administration, the pathways to legal immigration have been constricted. Do you think that that's a good policy to make it harder for people to immigrate here legally?
I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the president's in favor of, and I shouldn't speak for the president, I'm not his spokesperson.
Those are the policies.
But my view is that the president's been in favor of immigration. He just wants to see it done in a safe and secure manner.
But his administration is constricting the legal ways in which people can immigrate to this country. It's getting harder and harder to get in. That's the effect that's happening.
I don't know that.
Should that continue?
If that is happening, it shouldn't, but I don't think that is the view. I don't agree with that.
Okay, those are the facts.
Okay.
But the Department of Homeland Security, the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement have made a very, very loud proclamation, even going into the 2018 election, that they were going to make it harder to legally get into this country through a lot of different means, including separating families at the border and pausing and saying, whoa, whoa, pump the brakes. You're saying that didn't happen?
I don't believe that that's the intent of the president or immigration services.
So you're giving him benefit of the doubt. It's not his intent, but it's the effect.
If they're getting into wanting to make sure that we screen thoroughly people, then yes, yeah, if that's their intent. But you're on a different level on this than I am, and it's your daily job, and I understand that you are reading all those releases and asking the questions. We will get there, but I'm here to tell you that I support legal immigration, but I want to make sure that it's, and if people want to come to this country and they'll go through the legal process, and it should be rigorous. Being a United States citizen, and hopefully that's what their intent is, means something, and it should continue to mean something. So let's make sure people are serious about their intentions here.
And thank you for sharing some of those thoughts and ideas with us at this early stage. We look forward to checking back in with you and your campaign as these ideas evolve and as the campaign itself gets closer and closer to that election day. Darren Duncan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're back in a moment.